Hello, folks. Bubba the Jewish Redneck Prepper here today with you another wild edible here in this field. What we got here today is bull thistle. That's right, folks, bull thistle. Now this is a plant that I would say only use in a survival situation. See these beautiful flowering heads up here? I'm new to this bull thistle. I've only tried it a few times, and this beautiful plant is very spiny. You look real close, the thorns, the heads. Now see, when these heads, this plant is very good survival plant, but as just something that I could find in a survival situation, if I needed something to eat, this would be one of my last courses in eating, because this plant here is real thorny, but it's also a fibrous plant. In its first stages, when this plant is coming out, these leaves don't have the spines like they are. They're real flexible. All them leaves can be boiled and cooked as a pot herb. But as in these stages now, it would be too much work to cut the thorns off and try to eat them. It's just too much. But these stems, where they're real flexible, this is a little stiff right here where I got my fingers, but up here where it's real flexible, and there ain't no thorns, you can break this off, skin on the outer part, and eat the inside core. Just scrape off all that bark of this stem, and you can eat the inner core. That's very good for you. The Indians used this plant. Native Americans used it because they lived off the land, and they survived what the land gave them. Ain't this a beautiful plant? When these heads right like this, see that one over there? When they come to start to die off and put in the seeding, these things right here become real fibrous and everything, almost like the white seedings on a dandelion are. If you're ever in the field and you grab like stuff like this and need to start a fire, that makes good tinder to start a fire, the fibers of this plant. This plant, being so fibrous on the inside, very flexible, as it gets taller, it gets more stiff. You could take and scrape all these sides off, which is a good bit of work, but take this plant and soak it in water, the stems. Soak it in water for about 3 or 4 days, and it'll break down. The water will dissolve and break down this plant. And you can see the fibers. You can just strip the fibers apart. And use the fiber to make cordage. Make different stuff, whatever you need the thread to make. And it's pretty strong. Also, when this plant is out in its first time and it's in the rosette, like I said, you can boil the leaves at that time. The root also, the tap root, is also edible. Take it and skin it and outside, wash it, and cut it up, fry it, boil it, and use it in a pot with other vegetables, make soups out of it. Well, folks, I'm going to end this video with a disclaimer. If you want to get into foraging, find you some books on wild edibles. There's many wild edible books out there at Barnes & Nobles, Books A Millions, and other local bookstores. You can get them used. You can go on the internet and get used books, usually pretty cheap, and order them on the internet about wild edibles. And get in touch with other people that do wild edibles on Facebook, YouTube. They're all out there. Form a group if you can, with other foragers. Go out, teach some people some things you know, and learn from others. Folks, there's a lot of good, useful plants out there just for the taking. Save on grocery bills, for one thing. But not only that, there's many good edibles out there that have toxic cousins and stuff. There's some plants out there that are not toxic when they're young, but once they get old, they're toxic. There's some plants out there that some parts of the plant are edible, and yet others are toxic. And I've done a video on one of them already. Well, folks, I'm Bubba, the Jewish Redneck Prepper. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, let me encourage you to join my YouTube channel, the Jewish Redneck Prepper. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until the next time, my friends, enjoy the journey, and shalom.